If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I have to do this video and share this information. People have been posting this over on my website in the forum. I want to thank them for sharing this information with me. And again, if you're not a subscriber to the website, I definitely recommend you become one. But this is probably, look, I've said it a lot of times that this is going to be normalized. That this is something that they've been working on. I've been showing you how they've been taking characters in movies, in TV shows, or just kids in general on these reality shows and making them act like adults. Well, no surprise that this is going on in today's world, but if this doesn't make your blood boil, if this doesn't piss you off, I don't know if anything will, or ever will, to be honest, because this is as sick as it gets. Now, to avoid the algorithm, I have to blur some words out and I have to tippy-toe around some certain words to trigger the algorithm, but a new bill being passed in California would lower the penalties for adults who have you-know-what type of relations with kids. Oh, that's right. And of course, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that this is being passed by a guy who goes by the name of, or proposed by a guy who goes by the name of Scott Wiener. Right? So you got Wiener in there. That's no surprise, right? He's an advocate for the LG. He is one. For the, I don't know how to word it anymore without offending people, but, hold on, let me grab my Fruit Loops. All right, just needed a little snack, you know what I mean? And of course, this guy happens to be a follower of a certain book known as the Tao, what's the second word? Tao what? Tao, hold on. Come on, it rhymes with the word stud. Could it be Tao? Well, you could put one and one together. Those are things I talk about over on my website, things that are forbidden here, of course, on YouTube. And anyone that questions this guy in this bill, of course, gets hit with the same anti-blank type of terminology or blank-phobic terminology, because you can't question this type of stuff. They just need to normalize it. So a new bill, which is headed to, this really just gets me going here. This makes me, I don't even know what the point of doing this stuff is anymore. This world is so damned, and I've known that since I've started. I'm not looking to save the world. I know the world isn't here to be saved. Christ is the only one that could save. But trying to help people and show them all this stuff, right, with, normalizing of the way adults look at kids and view kids. And people would write comments and they say, you're the one who looks at it that way. And now this is about to be passed, where there should be lower penalties for adults who have consensual, with a minor if the offender is within 10 years of age with the victim. So in other words, this is a quote from another senator. If signed into law, a 24-year-old could have relations with a 15-year-old without being required to register as a offender. Oh, this is what's happening in our world, folks. And what is the core of this? Where does this come from? This comes from Babylonian teachings. It comes from the Tao, you-know-what teachings. This comes from Aleister Crowley's teachings about black magic involving children, the target, the constant target. And now they've got them wrapped around their finger with this new mind control and social engineering they're doing, which is targeted towards kids, which is normalizing perversion. It's normalizing all of this just disgusting filth. And these kids don't have a clue. They're too young to get it, or anyone who's 10 to 15 is so egotistical. They think people like me, I'm not even in the boomer range. I'm not, old enough to be a boomer. They call people like us boomers because we argue with the system and what's going on in this world. And what we're trying to do is protect the future of this world with children. But it just seems like it's doomed at this point. I don't know if you remember this. I covered this on my channel. Of course it got taken down. This is also available on my website if you actually want to see where this goes. But it's one of the most disturbing documentaries I've ever seen in my life. It would make you want to vomit all over the place, which obviously shouldn't make you want to see it. But it's a NAMBLA film about how they need to normalize these people. These people are coming out of the blue. And if you don't know what NAMBLA stands for, you should look it up. I can't say it on here. But organization pretty much that thinks it's okay for adults and kids, that sort of stuff. And we'll just take a look at this creepy guy as they follow him in action, and this is how he creeps on kids. I mean, this is the type of stuff that's normal in today's world.
There are lots of boys that precisely want to do that. That is what they want to do. They make it clear, and they simply do it. They don't. That is to give a blowjob. That's what to give head, as the saying goes. That's what they want to do, and they do it. That is, this boy simply did it in a magnificently gentle, tender sort of way, in which you could sense he was putting his whole heart and life into this experience. That is what was so exceptional about it, and it produced a remarkable sensation, and I may say a rather speedy climax, in spite of the fact that it was being done in such a gentle way.
What is the fantasy? What thoughts come into your mind in such a time?
Curiously, the most powerful feelings that are evoked are religious feelings. I want to sing praises to the Almighty for having created anything so beautiful, so spectacularly wonderful. This is what is going on in me. Well, there's, I don't see too much. Looks bakery esque in there for sure. Somebody gonna call you out?
Now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Here we go. Get up.
What happened?
Made the phone ring.
Oh, you made the phone ring. Oh, well, let's see how you did that.
You're just very quiet. No, you can get
No, no.
this again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, not
You
bad.
answer it.
Hey, how can I get the secret?
Dial 660 and last
660, and what's the rest of it?
the last 4 digits of that phone number.
Of that phone. 660 plus the last 4 digits of that
Yeah.
phone, and that'll do it.
Yeah, but you
Very
can't give
good.
anybody out.
Oh, goodness, okay.
Do it to the phone.
That'll be our secret then.
No, that's not a video.
He was so eager to tell me when his birthday was, and he was going to be 15 in less than a month on the 1st of December. And this is what life is about. This is what real life is about. I would say that he was in bloom, and that's it. The flower is responding to warmth. That is, I as a human being am bathing him in a certain kind of celestial warmth. And he feels that, and he responds to that, and he thinks, oh, how nice, how wonderful that there's someone there who is appreciating what I am and who I am. So, with Jason, my first aim would be to get a feeling for his psychological space, which I may say I did. While I was talking to him, while I was with him, I was attempting to evaluate the degree to which he is neurotic.
And people are okay with this. They're okay with it. Under current law, this is according to this article from Fox, while it is illegal for an adult to have consensual, with a teenager between 14 and 17, who cannot legally give consent, certain types of that between the two does not require the offender to be listed on the state's offender registry as long as the offender is within 10 years of the minor. Instead, the judge has the discretion to decide based on the facts of the case. And and the judge, of course, who will be in on it, because the judges are all Masons, they all work together. So yeah, that's really going to work in the favor of the people. Or if you're a parent out there and this happens to your child, guess what? You're screwed. That's what ends up happening. They want this. They're bringing everything that they do in the shadows into the light. I've talked about it a million times. I've shown you all of the clips. The reason that all these shows feature kids cooking, right? What kind of sick adult is on a Tuesday night? And look, if you've watched it before, I don't mean to say you're sick or something like that, but just think about it. Step back and think about it. That's all. It's watching 5-year-olds cook 4-star cuisine meals for Gordon Ramsay and top chefs. Or how about the Dancing with the Stars kids version, where the kids dancing? What adult wants to watch this stuff? Or these kid beauty pageants? Or any of these shows, or these movies where the kids suddenly aren't in high school anymore. They're in middle school and they're having these parties and they do all these innuendos with sexual devices and stuff. I mean, how does nobody see where this is going and how they're desensitizing people to normalize this stuff? This is what they do in darkness, and this is coming into the light. They want it to come into the light. And God help us all if this stuff gets passed and this continues to happen. I don't know how people can stand for it, to be honest. But I can't take much more. I'll probably just end up having a heart attack or something like that, because I can't watch much more of this debacle go on. And people will applaud and hope that I have one. Well, guess what? When the trumpets sound, maybe we'll meet again. And I'll be there with a full steel boot, ready to punt people into the pit if I'm blessed enough to do so. But until then, all I can try to do is wake people up. This is what I've been talking about. I've been talking about it for years. People think it's crazy. They don't see the signs. Other people want to be naive to it because they have their own kids. I get it. Trust me, I get it. There's walls that people put up about certain topics. But this is the reality of it. And just look no further than Scott Wiener and the rest of these absolute frauds who just so happen to believe in books like the Tao. Wow, what a coincidence, which teaches openly in there that it's okay and that it's normal. And they're the one, it's just unbelievable. Must all be a huge coincidence, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I thank you guys for listening. I apologize for making anybody out there sick. Again, check out the website at callfornuprising.com. If you haven't, I want to thank again the people over there for sharing it with me. Obviously I need to know this information, but as much as I need to know it and share it, it certainly wears me down and just makes me sick to be living in this day and time period. But God obviously put us here for a reason right now, so we just have to endure and do the best we can to wake others up. But thank you guys again. I love all of you. God bless you and your families.